Just wanted to read this comment out from a man, Heath Showman, 50, who was planning to take his son to the synagogue in Heaton this afternoon. And he says, "This is shocking. The worst part is just not knowing who has done this." He added it was only a matter of time, given the rise of anti-Semitism since the October 7 attacks, which we were talking about just now. He says, "I've been coming to this synagogue for 37 years and security has increased every year, but it's been building over the last couple of years. The portrayal of the conflict in Gaza has affected all Jewish people." Harry, who's 18 years old, the son, says, "The hate is always given to Jews when it's the government who is doing this." Strong words there. Please do keep your messages coming in, by the way, at gbnews.com/your say. Certainly, if you want to talk, let your I mean, obviously, on a hard news day like this, we are here to listen to you and to get through as many of your comments as we possibly can.
Absolutely. But now let's turn to the director of the Law and Order Foundation, Norman Brennan. Norman, we've said it before, the police response was quick. This could have been a lot worse had it not been for the fast response of some of those firearmed officers.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. There are many other areas where, God forbid, this had happened. The police armed response could have been 2-3 times that length away. Fortunately, there was clearly a firearms unit very close to the scene, and within 6 minutes they'd attended and made that split-second decision that no firearms officer really wishes to make, but it's their duty to make a decision to dispatch an individual that poses serious injury or life-threatening injuries and even murder in split seconds. So they've done an exemplary job. But I've listened to all the commentary this morning on this dreadful incident. And over the last 30-odd years, I've sat in front of TV screens like this or in studios on nearly every major incident. I've been a police officer for 31 years and 47 years in law and order. I have never seen so much anger, hatred, and bitterness in my 47 years in that role. Every day, every week, there is hatred spurted. The police are caught between a rock and a hard place. They can never win. And my point is this, is which incident is it that wakes Britain up? Which incident is it that encourages the government to actually recruit the police officers that we need? We're 18,000 officers short from 2009, re the population growth. We don't have the officers to guard every single synagogue. And coming to that point, what does it say about a society where synagogues, where people go to meet like-minded people and pray, are in fear of their life, that they have to have security guards on their doors? We don't have enough officers to protect them, sadly. And I was out recently with an anti-terrorist officer, friend of mine. There are up to 10,000 people on the watch list, varying degrees of how serious they are taking them. How can we monitor 10,000 people? And what he said to me was this. He said, "Norman, the people that concern us the most are those that fly below the radar, that we haven't got a clue on." And we've seen recently, in recent years, children as young as 16 have sat in front of a computer and self-radicalised. And he said to me, they are as dangerous as those that can carry a Kalashnikov and maim many people. And we're seeing nowadays that many of these terrorists that are often lone wolves, sometimes they're involved in a group, will use a knife or a car, or this morning, a combined knife and car. How can you stop someone that you don't know is likely to attack and murder others?
Norman, the fact that the SAS were on the scene, armed guards were on the scene, armed police officers on the scene so quickly, do you think there was some kind of prior warning that maybe this was a planned attack?
The anti-terrorist squad and MI5 and MI6 work very close together, and they stop many attacks that you and I will never ever hear of. That may be the case. At this moment in time, it's too early. We can only speculate. But that could well be the case. But when I've just highlighted to you that there are up to 10,000 individuals that we are looking at varying degrees degrees of how serious a threat they pose to us. How can you monitor each one of those? It takes up to 20 officers to do a surveillance on a single target. We put them to bed and we wake up with them. What I mean is we follow them until they go to their home address or an address. We sit overnight to make sure they don't leave, and another team comes on in the morning and picks them up and takes them wherever they're going. We saw about 3 or 4 years ago, somebody was released, I think it was from Wandsworth Prison, and within 2 or 3 days, the anti-terrorist squad knew that he was likely to attack someone. However, the authorities released that individual, and that's exactly what he did. He attacked and killed someone, and firearms officers and officers rushed from everywhere and dispatched him. The time has come for Britain to wake up. I've just told you I've responded to so many of these major incidents. I deal with homicide, gun and knife crime. It's my passion. I've never seen it devastate so many lives. I've never seen so much hatred. And I post regularly on social media, and this is my personal overview of one of Britain's leading law and order campaigners of decades. I love my country. I don't like what it's become, and I don't like the direction it's going. And is today just going to be another soundbite from the government and everybody else, only for tomorrow for all these synagogues and many other areas around Britain to worry about their safety? We've got to wake up, and I keep on saying that. We seem to sleep, and we certainly have sleepwalked into what I would describe Britain now as a type of anarchy.
Norman, just very briefly, lots of people listening to you and watching now are saying, yeah, this is the incident that wakes Britain up. Good question. Lots of people supporting what you're saying there. But when you say wakes up, what do you want? I mean, obviously more police officers, we understand that. But what else does the government need to do to ensure we never see this again?
We need 30 to 40,000 police officers. We need to definitely start recruiting police officers, just like in Northern Ireland and the rest of Europe, with the type of temperament that they will carry a firearm. And we do need to get more and more police officers, and we need a fully armed police service. We need the public to regain the lost respect they've had in policing. I've never seen so many communities that hate each other. We used to live in a country where we looked out for each other. We had moral fibre, community spirit and respect. That is what was the glue that kept Britain great. I'm afraid that glue has come apart. So my answer is we need more police officers. We need the police to reach out to the public to shake the officers of these hands. The majority of police officers are outstanding. And the caveat to all of this, when you shoot a terrorist, you're a hero. Had those officers turned up to an incident where they honestly believed that by discharging their firearm, they needed to shoot that individual, and it was an honest belief, but later a mistaken belief, those police officers would have been hung out to dry. And that's what we all need to work for. We need to support the police. And do you know what? We need to start looking out for each other and start holding their hands out and saying, good morning, hello, how are you? We've lost that spirit.
Norman,
I think a lot of people will agree with a lot of what you have to say there, but there's going to be deeper questions, of course, about society in general, about religious extremism, perhaps. All of these different things we'll get throughout the programme. We're going to go